Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Director General of SIGA, the State Interest and Governance Authority, Mr. Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Brigadier General Benjamin Amoah Boakye, representing the Chief of Defense Staff, COP George Alex Mensah, Director General in charge of Services, Police Headquarters, representing the Inspector General of Police, Reverend Paul Boafo, Presiding Bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana and Chairman of the Christian Council of Ghana, the Board Chairman of the Graphic Communications Group Limited, the former Chairman of the National Media Commission, Nana Kwesi Jana-Penting, colleague Chief Executive Officers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the launch of an important publication in the history of this country, the reintroduced Ghana Yearbook, which is published by your own and one and only state media organization, the Graphic Communications Group Limited. The Ghana Yearbook, as an annual publication from the Graphic Group, was very popular in its day in the 50s, in the 1950s, and the 70s. So those who are slightly older or getting younger would appreciate this. This annual chronicled happenings and curated all business information about this country, and it was much sought after in its day. The Ghana Yearbook highlighted news from previous year, information on all state institutions, and contacts of political actors and policymakers. It was indeed a veritable reference material for both young and old, entrepreneurs and academics. However, the publication of the Ghana Yearbook ceased with the last edition published in the late 1970s. After a hiatus of over 40 years, we have revived the publication under the inspiration of our board chairman, Professor Kwame Karkari. I believe he deserves a round of applause. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, those who lived the unforgettable experience of reading the Ghana Yearbook in the day never stopped wishing for the valuable information it gave them, nor did they cease urging the Graphic Group to bring it back, especially in an era where social media abound with sometimes unverified user-generated content, is somewhat adulterating information and tainting our records, which otherwise should help us keep accurate track of our contemporary history. It is on this note that we say thank you to the many voices that encouraged us to revive the publication. Permit me to specially thank the Honorable Aaron Maikukwe, the former Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. On every occasion he had to interact with us, he never missed an opportunity to urge us to reintroduce the Ghana Yearbook. We thank him most profoundly. The Ghana Yearbook has maintained the quality that endeared it to readers in the 50s through the 70s. In addition to improved content, it captures the nation's events as they unfolded in the previous year. These include the swearing-in of the 5th President of the 4th Republic, the election of the first Speaker of Parliament from an opposition party, who is here with us today, the election of the new parliament into office, the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, the demise of our former President, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, the 2020 elections, the Graphic Art 70 anniversary celebrations, among others. The book also captures historical dates, facts about Ghana, corporate information on companies, and government institutions. One cannot deny the fact that the book sells Ghana to our international community and the world at large, while fulfilling a gap in the country's history. It is my hope that all dignitaries herein present will make donations towards this publication and will leave here with a copy or two. We also implore our corporate partners, including the advertising agencies, and I saw the president of the Advertising Association of Ghana come in. Mr. Togome said you are welcome. We implore you and your members to support us with consistent advertising to enable us keep this publication going. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this event, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, MD. This special guest, one time, was minority leader. Then, duality of life showed. He switched to the other side. Became majority, became a minister, became a deputy speaker of parliament, second deputy actually, and as we speak, he is the Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. He is our special guest who will be delivering the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, kindly help me welcome Right Honorable Alban Bagbin to the podium.
Let me say, très bien. Emmanuel J. Arthur. I was also once a wise man. I think that is also important.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see my colleagues here, but let me acknowledge all ministers and members of parliament, the board members of Graphic Communications Group, the managing director, senior managers and staff of the corporation, the chief executive officers of various organizations present, representative of the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police, the presiding bishop of the Methodist Church, Most Reverend Dr. Paul Boafo, who is also chairman of the Christian Council, just gave us a very inspiring prayer. Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen from the media. Let me say something before I go to my speech. I think I have to thank the resilience of the managing director and the staff of Graphic Communications Group Limited for the efforts they made in getting me to be here. It was really a tug of war. I insisted that I wanted to see them, feel, before I accept to be here. Tried as they may, they couldn't also have access to me. But I'm here all the same, and I thank you all. This morning, I was caught up in a remote meeting, commonly referred to as a virtual meeting, with my colleagues in the Commonwealth, because Ghana is going to host the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference in 2022, which is next year. And so I happen to be the vice chair, graduating very soon to be the chair. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association International. I was there before up to 2016, so I'm well known. So sorry if I kept you waiting. It's because I was caught up in another very important assignment. Now permit me to extend my gratitude to the board, management and staff of the Graphic Corporation Group Limited for the thought of extending an invitation to deliver the keynote address on this important occasion. I consider your invitation as an honor and privilege. As we garner more life experiences and make progress on this journey called life, a lot of things begin to make better meaning to us. In essence, we begin to appreciate even better how all the little components of the structure of our society make our country tick. I guess we overfocus on political superstructures, its institutions, processes, and direction. We tend to be hypersensitive to issues of the economy and finance. Inflation, interest rates, exchange rates, etc., are more of a heartbeat than those things that define us as a people. The net effect is that we relegate identity formers such as our culture, tradition, values, principles, and even our history to the background. Ladies and gentlemen, one area of practice that helps to define who we are as people, and that also finds victim to our neglect, is the media. Yet, the media's power to mobilize and immobilize is so strong. As Malcolm X, the African-American human rights activist, postulates, and I quote, "The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that is power. Because they control the minds of the masses." Unquote. No wonder it is said the pen is even mightier than the sword. It is often said that the state of the media is a reflection of the society in which the media finds itself. The implication is that a positive shift in the state of the media will induce a corresponding change in society at large. It is our responsibility as a country, therefore, to work towards those shifts in the media, shifts that will precipitate a lot more positivity in our society. We should work on those shifts in our media space that will unleash the power that the media has to head this country towards the direction that serves the interests of all Ghanaians. The media recounts the history of a country on a daily basis. They serve as a store of knowledge and information. As Philip L. Graham, a co-owner of the Washington Post, said, I quote, "Journalism is the first rough draft of history," unquote. On a daily basis, therefore, the media generates information which could be processed into invaluable historical data that can aid governments in their decision-making. Consequently, the role of the media in this country is as essential as the work it does. The media is well positioned in time and space to capture and document our history in ways that make it relevant to national growth and development. This is particularly so for countries like Ghana that uphold the values and principles of free press. Indeed, the progress and development of nations are inextricably linked to the freedom of expression. It takes determination, sacrifice, and courage on the part of the media to embed a national culture that is supportive of free expression. When it comes to that, the Graphic Corporation Group Limited should hold its head high. Because looking back on your journey in the Ghanaian media space from as far back as 1950, there is no denying the fact that you have been pace setters in this regard. Your content bears testimony to this. Today, we still recollect heroic stories from journalists like Chris Archer, Yu Chem, Reverend Palmer Buckle, now Archbishop Palmer Buckle. We still recollect Paul Ansan, Kuyoyanka, all those people. But permit me to single out the heroic story of Mrs. Elizabeth Ohene, then of the Daily Graphic. She was appointed by the then President, His Excellency Dr. Hilary Mann, as the editor of the Daily Graphic. However, in defense of press freedom, Ms. Ohene declined the appointment, arguing that editors of the state-owned newspapers were appointed by the then Press Commission as part of efforts to insulate the media from governmental control. To Ms. Ohene, her appointment as editor was so wrong that she would not accept it. In the process, she sacrificed her career advancement and comfort in defense of the values and principles of press freedom. How I wish this country had many more Elizabeth Ohenes. In the industry, Graphic has been a market leader in the media industry over a prolonged period because of the strong brand you have developed over the years. A media brand that upholds freedom of expression, truth, professionalism, and objectivity on all its platforms. It is also because of your never-ending innovations and the determination to stay relevant through the various stages of media evolution, both past and present. Besides, you have remained steadfast, given the context of all the emerging trends in the media landscape that had tended to obfuscate the direction, relevance, and future of the media. Just a word on this Ghana Yearbook. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our presence here today is to launch the Ghana Yearbook 2021, which I am informed is an annual publication of the Graphic Communications Group Limited. It provides an overview of happenings in various sectors of the country in the previous year. This is a typical example of how this organization has continued to reinvent itself. The Ghana Yearbook, I am told, was popular particularly in the 1950s to the 1970s. I think the chair just confirmed that. But went out of publication. It has, however, been reintroduced, given the current media context, to fill a void and serve this present generation. This is a manifestation of the demand-driven interventions that continue to make this organization an example of the endless possibilities that exist not only for media organizations, but more importantly, for state-owned institutions as well. And I can assure you that I will convey your warm felicitations to the Right Honorable Professor Aaron Michael Okwe of how he managed to insist and to put pressure on you to reinvent and reintroduce the Ghana Yearbook. I thank you so much on his behalf. Let me say a word on ethics and professionalism. I, however, want to use this opportunity to address an aspect of the tradition and practice of media work. Ethics and staying true to the journalism profession, which I hope you will uphold and safeguard. Endeavor to ensure that you maintain the integrity you have built for yourselves over the years. Media and ethics are bedfellows, and I hope that it is a constant reminder to all of you as you do your work. In a recent interaction with members of this Parliament, the 8th Parliament, I shared with them the need to uphold the integrity of the House by respecting and abiding by the Code of Conduct for Parliament. As I told them, there is nothing wrong with enjoying the privileges that MPs' distinct standings in society offer them. But there would be everything wrong with them forgetting that what they have are just privileges. Being in positions of power or influence means that some other people have sacrificed their individual fractions of power, comfort, and influence as a sovereign individual of the whole for us to be able to lead them. The position of an MP should never be the reason for them to forget where the actual power resides. I want to leave a similar thought with you in the media. The power to do what you do is sacred. But without the people that you do what you do for, you will not have much to do. Respect the distinct roles you have in the society. Enjoy what you do, but you must not forget to respect the people from whom you generate your content. Abide by the ethics of the profession. That is the only way to avoid the joke who says, and I quote, I say a joke, because I still want my head on top of my body. And the joke is, I quote, a lawyer will destroy somebody's life for $400 per hour. But a journalist will do it for free. Journalists are certainly better than that. But it requires effort in order to bring that to light. A bit on capacity building. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, another issue of concern to me is the need to develop capacity and build experience among the media players that will enhance your work. Whilst capacity building for media practitioners appears to be few and far between, there is also the worrying trend of media managers or editors moving their reporters so often and quickly from one beat to the other. A typical example is those who report from Parliament. By the time they start understanding the processes, procedures, the practices of the House, and participate in the training program, they would have been moved somewhere else and a new reporter brought in. This tendency denies all of us of the benefits from the quality and insightful reports that come with knowledge, consistent application, and understanding. I would appeal to managers, editors, and proprietors of media organizations to help us maintain consistency and, by extension, build the capacity of media personnel to become experts in the fields they choose to report on. The fact that Parliament spends money to train the journalists, and just when they are about settling in, they are recalled into the newsroom, is something I really wish you will help us solve. It is a disincentive and discouragement to training delivery and could be frustrating. An example is what we just did recently. We were able to organize about 3 events, orientation and induction courses. We did one first for the primary 1 students, the first timers. And we had to start from the ABC. Usually it's wrong to mix them with experienced ones. And we did a second one for the upper class. We invited the parliamentary press corps to both. Just last weekend, we did a post-budget workshop, usually for 3 days, intensive workshop. The men and women that we have learned a lot, because we have a different parliament from all the parliaments from 1993. I know it better than any other person. I passed through all. And so you need a different culture to be able to report what is happening in such a hung parliament. I don't have that pleasure and comfort of my prof with huge numbers behind him. and therefore could call off the bluff of the minority and proceed to do business. I don't have that. Neither do I have the support of those who are looking into my eyes. And so it's a very delicate balance. And I need the support of everybody for us to succeed. This is very, very important because it affects the lives of each and every one of us on a daily basis. I'll do my bit. God has given me that courage and fortitude. And I keep on saying the blessings and grace. It was through there and through him that I'm a speaker today. I never dreamt of becoming a speaker. Now, maybe in the near future, but not today. Here I am representing the Speaker of Parliament. And so, I will not just thank you for the support, but I will also encourage and urge you on to sustain that report in order for us to succeed. Let me now conclude. Mr. Chairman, it was quite difficult to not accept such an invitation when the publication we are launching today has generous pages devoted to the work of the 7th and 8th parliaments of this country, among other sectors. Just as you are all eager to dig into the hidden details of this book, I also am. The knowledge of the existence of the Ghana Yearbook and what it entails will certainly serve as a good reference manual for Ghanaians who are in search of facts about the country. I'm hopeful that this book will particularly help decision makers and also support other areas of national endeavor with the information required to make urgent decisions. On this note, it is my honor and pleasure to declare the 2021 yearbook of the Graphic Corporation Group Limited duly launched. Before I resume my seat, let me plead with all of you to shift a bit from the too much focus on politics and political leaders to the detriment of any other profession and person. In this country, so many people from so many sectors have done so much for this country, yet little is heard of them. Just a few later-day sayings of politics that we keep on happening on a daily basis. And I'm saying this because of interaction with the youth. People don't know that in 1888, the first black person to be a member of a legislative council was from Ghana, called John Saba. When I mentioned John Saba, they were telling me, oh, yes, John Mensa Saba. No, not John Mensa Saba. His father. The youth don't know that what we are enjoying today in the whole of Africa was made possible through the funding of a foundation in the US, but led into Africa by a gentleman, a Choco-born gentleman called Dr. N-Man Kwejiri Agri. People don't know about that. I'm yet to know of any Ghanaian that has studied as much as that gentleman, who could speak 7 different languages, key languages, including Japanese, including Hebrew, including Spanish, English, French, you name it. He studied all. He being celebrated in Salisbury, US. Ghanaians don't know about him. When he spoke in the 1920s in South Africa, don't be surprised he was prevented from going into the pulpit to speak because he was black. So apartheid South Africa was looking for a white man. And so when he got to the main gate, the police stopped him. No blacks. This is for whites only. So he was standing there. When the organizers were realizing that the gentleman was not coming, they got to the entrance, and there he was standing. So, oh, we are waiting on you. Please, tell them. They prevented me from entering, so I've been here for over 30 minutes. And when he entered and spoke, the reaction of a white South African was that, damn it, damn his color, the man is a saint. This is the Ghanaian, Choco-born, but from Winneba. Ghanaians don't know it. How many Ghanaians know about Reverend Jacob Benjamin Anaman? How many? Who wrote the Gold Coast Guide and was the first to trace the writings of the anthropologists from Europe to say that the majority of the tribes in Ghana hail from old empire Ghana. That is what J.B. Dankwa referred to. Today he's being credited as the one who proposed the name Ghana. I'm saying this to emphasize the importance of such publications. We need to capture them. The revisionism is not helping the country at all. Without George Pargrant, you wouldn't have had UGCC. The youth today don't know about it. Because he was not a politician, he was a businessman. Maybe you have even heard of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But he paid for his ticket to come down. Do you mention him even in your politics? Please. There's a lot of wealth of knowledge we have to impart to the youth to get this country to forge together. My friend from Israel told me that Ghana is the promised land. Moses misled them into the desert. Yet the people in the promised land are on daily basis risking their lives to go to the desert to look for treasure. We need more of such publications. And once again, I thank Graphic Communications Group for a job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. A wise man indeed. I agree. In fact, as I was listening through, so many pearls, to the extent that he's made even my job easy, because I had penciled some things that I was going to say in self-praise of my company. But he's told that we are resilient, we are pace setters, graphic communications group, we produce quality products. I mean, if you go to an examination and you have a question, Professor Dubois says Ibn Battuta is from Timbuktu. Comment. What do you say? If Professor Dubois says it, then that's it. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. At this point, we would like to share the benefit of the great content that Mr. Speaker referred to. We've come to a book lunch. It's been the tradition. You normally will go home with a copy. I do not call this a sale. I call it a contribution to a worthwhile cause, because this publication is intended to help us capture our history so that when we are gone, well, I'm not very old, so those who follow us will get to see what happened. And on this note, I'd like to invite Mr. L.A. Apanga, Esquire. In fact, if you don't add that one, you have a problem. He's a lawyer, to help with auctioning of some copies.
Thank you very much. A while ago, the speaker made us understand that the lawyers would destroy your life for an amount, but the journalists would do it for free. Right, Honorable Speaker of Parliament, our chairman, our distinguished invited ladies and gentlemen. I have a very Herculean task, but I've been assured by the speaker that he would make my work easier. In fact, he assured us and assured me when he took the oath of office that he do good to all manner of persons. I'm one of the manner of persons, so I believe he will do good to me. Okay, so we would have a very simple auction, and our intention is to raise funds, and our also intention is to ensure that each of us who gets a copy will not just have an ordinary copy, but will have a copy that you will cherish. A copy that would have the signature and the autograph of the Speaker of Parliament. It won't be the same as the one you buy on the shelves, in the shops, in the bookshops and other places. Our auction will rather be quite interesting. It will be an equitable auction where almost each of us would contribute to. It is what we usually term as Chinese auction. It's not because it's an inferior auction. It is just a name to it. You don't necessarily have to pay the entire amount of the last bid. You pay the difference between the first amount and the amount that you bid. So if we are 10,000 and you say 12,000, all you have to do is pay the difference of 2,000. To make it quite easy you don't also need to pay cash immediately if you don't have the cash here. We are quite flexible. We understand COVID is in, and we would have other ways of collecting money. So if you don't have the cash here, we would take your contact, we'll keep track, and follow and take the money. I'm a lawyer, so we'll know how to recover debt. I know that I'll be paid the fee if I recover it, so I'll chase you for it. Okay, so we'll start quite quickly. May I have the beginning amount? Particularly someone from graphic. Can I have an amount to go with? Can I have an amount to go with? Okay, let me share part of my legal fees with you. I'll pay 1,000 cedis for the first copy. Clap for me. Claps are for free. Claps are for free, so clap for me. 1,000 cedis for the first copy. So, ladies, take note that the lawyer says you pay 1,000 cedis for the first copy. Yes. 2,000. Thank you very much. 2,000 for 3,000. 3,000 for Mr. Asamoah Boateng. Thank you so much. 3,000. 4,000. Are you taking note? 4,000. 4,000. 5,000. Thank you very much, Mr. Mensah. Thank you very much, Mr. Mensah. 6,000. 6,000. 6,000. 6,000. 6,000. 10,000. 10,000. 10,000. 10,100. This man reminds me of Accra Great Olympics. Accra Great Olympics will hardly win the league, but they ensure that you don't win. 10,100. 10,100. 12,000. 12,000. Round of applause. 12,000. 12,000. 12,000. 12,000. 12,000 going 1, going 2, going 3, going 4, going 5, going 6, going 7. Our bell is down. 12,000 Ghana cedis. Nonetheless, for you who also said 12,050, you'll have a copy at a reduced price of your 50 cedi will be given back to you, but you paid the 12,000. And then I'll step it down. Do you remember the amount? We are 10,000 by Mr. Asamabuaten. So he would have his copy too at that amount. So please make a copy for him as well. Get his pack for him. And we had someone also said 6,000 at a point. 8,000. Yes. 8,000. And then we had the MD giving us. So please take note of that. Each of them. Do you have their packs? Yes. May I have the honor of inviting the speaker to present the first copy too? Yes, please. Please step forward. Mr. Dazi, will you please step forward and then have your copy? Speaker, kindly indulge us.
Under protest. File a petition.
Please go to court.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Asamabuaten, please step forward. Mr. Mensah, please step forward. Last one, Mr. Mensah.
I treasure the book so much that I'll pay 20,000 for one copy. That's good. Thank you.
The speaker has really showed that he's speaker indeed. Yes. when the men were shouting 1,000, 10,000, he was just waiting for them and laughing his head. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Indeed, Prof and MD may have to autograph for you. Yes. So maybe for the photographs, just for the.
We all agree that the speaker has done us a great honor. I know his time is very, very tight. I don't even know whether he has time, actually. Because when we are trying to get him, he's in a meeting. You hope that when he gets up, you see him. He gets up and the car is moving. And so he's a very busy person. To have devoted part of his time to this occasion shows the importance he attaches to the publication and the business of Graphic Communications Group Limited. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also wish to thank the board of Graphic Communications Group Limited for this wonderful idea that they've been able to get us to succeed in executing, especially the board chair. I look around and I see a number of people who have very tight schedules, CEOs, business people, who have taken their time to come here to help us to get this occasion going successfully. I do not know how we'll be able to pay for your time, because time is money. We thank you very much, and may God bless you. We thank every single individual whose contribution, time, money, ideas, especially also the concept of the old infusing with the new and helping. Because a lot of you who read Graphic and the Mirror in those days will remember Mr. Kwasi Janapente. He was a very big hand behind this whole publication, giving us the kind of insight and consultancy that has led to this wonderful publication. Thank you very much. May God bless us all for coming and helping and making this a success. And please, as you move, try to check whether you've got that SMS that is going to help us to get your thoughts on how to make this publication better when you come out with the next edition. Thank you very much.